What up, Lons? How you doing, my man?
I'm doing fantastic. What about yourself, Doc?
Been a crazy day, man, to be honest with you. My son goes to UNLV, and for anyone who doesn't know, there was an active shooter today at UNLV who
Oh, that's right.
killed 4 people, and it was a really bad day. Just to even get that call, he called me just to let me know he was fine, but yeah, man, scary situation. A little too close to home for my liking, but nothing a player can handle. Thankfully, it wasn't my son, and I just have to pray for all those families out there who are not gonna ever get to see their
Man,
kid
that's a
again, man.
bad dude. That's amazing how we allow this to happen in this country in this day and age, and nobody seems to do anything about it. It's amazing how much shit, how many people are victimized by victims, and nobody has any solutions. We had a conversation recently in the city of Compton about the prostitutes on Long Beach Boulevard, and the sheriff department, reps from the sheriff department, all they're victims of trafficking. No, they
Salute
not. All of them
OGT.
ain't. No, that's bullshit. Some of them that just selling ass. Okay, don't give a damn what you say. Some of them out there just selling ass. But meanwhile, because you can't do anything to them because of their potential connection to trafficking, other girls and people of the community become victims of their activities. So how do you let victims create new victims? And that's not right. The same thing with this gun situation. People with guns, people with emotional and mental problems do a lot of things with guns, but you won't do anything about guns. You rather protect the guns and protect the people from people with guns. And this, I mean, even when you won't even ask for a mental breakdown or a mental check or prevent people with mental issues from having guns. There's nothing, they won't block anybody from having a gun. You can have all types, unless you have domestic violence situations, something like that, yes. But for the most part, if you have some mental issues and you want to buy a gun, no, give me a gun. And that's some sad shit, man. Only in America.
Only in America, man. Well, peace and love to all those families out there. Let's get it going, Lonzo. A lot to talk about this week, as per always. One thing that I wanted to jump off right off the bat with you was a quote by Fat Joe that's been going viral
this week, and I would love your thoughts on this. Fat Joe, big time New York rapper. Back in the day, he talked about guns and music. He always talked about selling dope and busting on folks and selling pounds and pounds and kilos of this and all of that. But he said, and I quote, this past week, he said, "I lied in 95% of my raps." Talk to me, Lance.
I think he's lying in 95% of his conversation right now. I'm gonna retract that. I'm gonna retract that. I think people realize that things they said, especially with all this cancellation, things they said at one point in time in their lives can come back to bite them in the ass in the present day. And in some ways, he may be covering his ass because at one point in time, it's a known fact. Well, allegedly, he was a pretty rough character. He was a pretty rough character back in the day. Okay, he was smoothed out, got his stuff together. He's well respected in the community, in the hip hop community, and nobody wants to get retroactively canceled on some shit you said back in the 80s and 90s. So it would behoove anybody at this stage in the game. Yeah, I was lying my ass off. And on the other side, there's a lot of people that did lie. They lied their asses off, but it don't make no difference because people believe the lies. And that's the sad part. That's something I've said from day one. Hip hop fans do not vet their artists. So they take whatever comes out of their mouths as being fact and being true. And people, because music and because art imitates life, people will try to duplicate that shit. Now you have people who are in the studio who are talking a gang of shit and retroactively try to go out in the streets and live the lie, become the person that the lie they told in the studio. And come on, man, no matter what it is, it's still, in some cases, it's fiction that turns into reality. And sometimes it's reality that's being glorified. Bottom line is the whole concept does not work for anybody but the people that's telling the lies.
Do you think most rappers lie about what they do and have in history? And I guess my end question to that is hip hop one big lie?
Hip hop has been reporting from the streets, have been lying, exaggerating. I remember one of the Eazy's raps. Went to court and here comes Susie with the submachine Uzi. Okay. Kicked into court and did all kind of shit. Come on, man, that never happened in real life. It sound good, and you know, people tell
Coca the Fort.
Yeah, Coca the Fort. You know, blah blah blah. You know, all that shit. All that shit is funny, and we knew it was bullshit back then. Okay, we knew it was bullshit. It sounded amazing. It sounded like a verbal movie, like a cheap movie that you can tell on you know, a cheap movie that the story's being told verbally as opposed to being through film or video. And we accepted it for what it was. We accepted the characters for being what it was. But again, because people had certain attachments to certain communities, that made it seem more believable. Again, well, you know, people, Wesley Snipes has guns on his show. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone has guns in his thing. But see, Sylvester Stallone going to Beverly Hills. Schwarzenegger going to Beverly Hills. A lot of these cats coming from the hood, and they never do a disclaimer that I'm just a character, having fun. No, we know that Schwarzenegger, Snipes, and Stallone are all actors. We don't look at these guys as being actors. Most of these guys, we take them as being who they say they are, and that's the part that fucks shit up.
Yep, facts, dude. Shout out to the whole fam in the building. I see the chat going real crazy. Let's keep it pushing, Lonzo. Yeah, something else that I would love to get your opinion on. Sexy Red, one of our favorite girls out there, Sexy Red, has a song in it where she repeats the words, F my baby daddy, F my baby daddy. And of course, she doesn't say F, she uses the real word. But F my baby daddy, F my baby daddy. And she ain't even dropped the damn baby out her womb yet, Lonzo, and she's already F'ing the baby daddy. What kind of message is this sending to young girls and boys out there?
Man, she is probably one of the most destructive people I can think of in the hip hop right about this time. Her whole persona, what she represents, I can't deal with it, man. And for some reason, she pops up on my Facebook feed on a regular basis. First story on my Facebook feed. Maybe I'm talking about it too much, and the algorithms are keeping her in my face. But I just